There are moments in science when silence roars louder than any explosion. This is one of those moments. Nothing collided. Nothing imploded. Nothing brightened the sky. The alarm began because of absence, a silence the size of a small moon. Far from Earth, the James Webb Space Telescope drifted in its dark orbit, peering deeper than any instrument before it. It trained on a region of space that maps labeled, empty. A place catalogued as a vacuum between galaxies, a blank on the cosmic ledger. What came back from that blank changed everything. The telescope recorded a circle of absence, a patch where light did not come, bend, or scatter. Not a shadow in the usual sense. Not an eclipse or a dusty veil. It was as if the universe itself had a hole in its grammar. Imagine ink dropped into a still glass and the ink, and the glass, simply disappear. Initial checks looked for known suspects, collapsed stars, massive black holes, instrument faults. The usual signatures were missing: no X-rays, no accretion glow, no gravitational tremors. Instead there was an immovable, cold silence. Then the perimeter began to change. Not like a planet tracing an orbit, but like something inhaling and exhaling on a cosmic scale. Light around the void flickered in precise beats. Scientists mapped the pulses and found a pattern: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, primes, arriving in order. The sequence looked deliberate, like dialing a number in the language of numbers. But it wasn't electromagnetic chatter. It was a disturbance in spacetime itself, tiny, coordinated shifts the telescope's gyros registered. Those readings suggested something nudging the universe's foundation with intention. Math teams pored over the timestamps and intervals. The rhythms did not match natural stochastic processes. They matched structure. They matched choice. Labs called in quantum theorists, cosmologists, and pattern recognition ice. One program crashed and, in error, produced a single word: recognized. The implication crawled outward through the research community like a cold wind. If recognition occurred, what had been recognized? 27 days after the first detection, Webb returned to observe the patch again. What it recorded was not motion through space but a reappearance elsewhere, a blink. Not a trajectory, but a displacement, a jump in position without a trace left behind. The shift measured only a fraction of a degree, tiny to human eyes, deadly to the calculations. The behavior suggested rules did not apply the way we understand them. Entanglement works for particles. This was a moon-sized anomaly acting with entanglement like freedom. When researchers plotted successive reappearances, they formed a spiral aimed inward, toward us. The spiral tightened like a finger tracing a path on a map. Geometry around the anomaly began to organize itself. Fractal motifs, repeating and nesting, emerged at the boundary. The shapes echoed biological networks, not organs, but pathways, architectures like thought might use. As Webb stared, the patterns adapted, refining with each observation. The structure seemed to correct for observation, to optimize its response. Scientists labeled the phenomenon responsive geometry. Some hypothesized an antenna, others a sentinel, and a few whispered the word construct. Machine simulations, trained to find alien designs, failed when fed this dataset. Algorithms looped and stalled, then output the terse log, recognized. Around the anomaly, a subtle background shift unfolded, a radiation change synchronized to the pulses. The shift behaved like an echo, delayed, layered, harmonic. Spectral analysis revealed nested frequencies, stacked like musical chords. The waveforms altered slightly with Webb's orientation, as if replying to being probed. The void's song, journalists called it. Researchers called it an engineered response. A team of mathematicians unraveled a deeper secret in the timing. Embedded in the intervals was a spiral of primes, a structure some number theorists had long noted for its ubiquity. When rendered three-dimensionally, the signature wrapped into a helix. The helix resembled the double helix known to our biology. The timing of pulses matched codon-like groupings, an unnerving parallel to genetic code. Coincidence became a shrinking possibility. As data gathered, the atmosphere around the discovery changed. Public feeds lagged. Observatory logs vanished. Key contributors withdrew under vague pretenses. Press statements grew distant, bureaucratic, careful. Leaks suggested international agencies and private space firms were pulled into backroom briefings. The worry was not immediate danger but uncertainty. Could this thing already be here? Probes from previous generations passed the region without noting anything. That meant either the anomaly was invisible to older instruments or it was new. Either answer raised its own terrors. On the 48th day, as Webb prepared to pivot, the anomaly's pulses stopped. Static filled the stream where rhythm had been. Before the silence took hold, Webb captured 3 frames of something different. Not a void now, but a shape, angular, symmetric, almost